What's up guys, Stevie Street Bike here, and I'm making my first Motovlog video. Pretty exciting. And I wanted to make it about my current motorcycle, which is a 2009 Kawasaki Versys 650. I wanted to start by showing you what the bike looks like, if anybody don't know. Modifications, haven't done a whole lot. I spray painted the back of my windscreen to give it like a tinted look. I did bar end mirrors, put a quad lock on here, and a cargo net. And that is it for modifications. This thing only has 2,637 miles, basically brand new, and I'm almost out of gas, so we'll have to get gas on the way home. But yeah, let's hop on the bike and talk about more about the bike and how I bought it. Alright, so the Kawasaki Versys 650 is an incredible motorcycle, and the reason why is that 650 that Kawasaki puts in most of their motorcycles, like this and the Ninja 650, it'll absolutely rip, man. Is it the fastest bike in the world? No, but you don't get it for that, you know. It is a perfect, there's never been a time when I'm on this bike that I wish I had more power. Like, you know, there's always going to be that one guy, you know, that says, oh, you know, that bike's slow, it can't keep up with my Gixxer 1000 or whatever, you know. But man, the 650, and I know it's that way with, you know, the Ninja 650 and all that stuff as well. It's an incredible bike. I'm gonna run the stop sign real quick. It's a Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. I mean, I got it set up to be more sporty, like, you know, it's more of a looking like a sport bike with the bar end mirrors, and, you know, it's got sport tires on it. But that doesn't mean that you can't do other stuff with this bike. I see a lot of people will make these into adventure touring bikes and really do some really cool stuff with it. Throw some hard bags or soft bags on it, and yeah, you can really do a lot with this motorcycle. But I want to talk about like why I ended up with this bike. So at the time, so to give you a little backstory, I've been riding for almost 12 years. My first bike was an FC6R. The second bike was a V-Star 250, which I still have. And then my third bike, I went from a V-Star 250 all the way to an FJR 1300, which was an absolute beast of a sport touring bike. And then I ended up with this bike. But at the time, all I had was the 250. I was getting a little bored just having the 250. I wanted something a little bit more peppy. And it's crazy because, you know, I've been riding for almost 12 years, but I wanted an MT-03. And I know a lot of people look at that as a beginner bike or, you know, a person's first bike, but I really love the MT-03. I love the look of it. I love the fact that I could get one that was only like a year or two old for like the bike, you know, like the price range of the bikes that I was looking at. It just had a lot of really cool, you know, like features, and just looked cool, and it was going to be perfect for me because I'm not a speed demon. I don't care to go no 150 miles per hour, so I didn't need a bike that did that. I just wanted a bike that did, you know, normal speed limits and could get there pretty easily, and I know that the MT-03 could do that. But let's pause on this story. I'm gonna drop in and get some gasoline, and of course that gas pump doesn't work for my credit card, so we'll have to mosey on over here. Oh my gosh, this one's not working either. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. My goodness, that was way too interesting getting gas. I had to go to 3 gas pumps, and then it didn't want to read my card at the first one, or at the third one. Anyways, we finally got gas, man. So anyways, continuing the story, yeah, I was really wanting the MT-03. I was searching Facebook Marketplace, like probably most of us do when we're looking for a bike. And this bike kept popping up, this Versys 650, and I didn't know much about the bike at all, but I kept seeing this bike pop up. It was only like 20 minutes away from me, which was a big plus, that I wasn't going to have to drive very far to get it. And so I just said, well, I'll send the guy a message and just kind of see where it goes. And the dude, like, he answered me like right away. He sent me all kinds of pictures of the bike, like from every angle. It was in, you know, a nice, you know, like shop that he had. I could tell he had other motorcycles, and he was working on a truck, and like he had all this stuff in his shop, and like the guy seemed like legit, you know. And I was like, so like we talked a little back and forth and talked about the bike. But I went on YouTube and I searched, you know, a 2009 Kawasaki Versys, and I wanted to watch, you know, test ride. And Sean from SRK Cycles, which is one of my favorite motorcycle YouTube channels, he had a couple of videos of him test riding these bikes, and he had nothing but good to say about them. I mean, I don't think he said one negative thing about them. People don't really realize how good of a bike they are until they ride them, and then once you ride them, you fall in love. And so, like, I was sold then. I was like, okay, like, I want this bike. The only problem was the guy that I was buying it from and Sean from SRK Cycles are both like 6'2" or 6'3". Like, they're taller guys, and I'm 5'9". So I was like, I hope the bike is not too tall for me, because I know it is more geared towards like adventure riding, and I know some of those bikes can be tall. And so yeah, I was a little nervous about if the bike was going to be too tall, even though I've been riding for a while, and I feel like my techniques are pretty good with bigger heavy bikes, because I did pretty well with the FJR 1300 that weighed a whole lot. But I don't know, I was a little uneasy about it. So I set up an arrangement to go see the bike and meet the guy, and I wanted to sit on the bike, and man, from the moment I sat on the bike, it was perfect. I couldn't flat foot it, but I could, both the balls of my feet could easily touch the ground. I could easily scoot the bike backwards or forward, no problem. And the guy was super nice. I think I stayed at his house for like 2 hours just talking about, you know, life and motorcycles and whatnot. And so I had a really good feeling about buying from this guy. The bike checked out. He let me, you know, hear it run. I sat on it more than once just to make sure it was going to be comfortable enough. And then I went the next day. I got my dad to drive me up there, and I took it for a test drive before I handed the money over. And then it's been almost a year that I've had this bike. I think February either 4th or 5th will make a year that I've had this bike, and I still absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite bike that I've owned. Like I said, there's going to be somebody out there that, you know, this bike wouldn't be fast enough for them, or maybe it doesn't look cool enough for you. But for the kind of riding that I do, and when I say the kind of riding that I do, I seriously just drive from my house to work, and then from my work to my house, like 99% of the time. I don't really go like group ride with people. I'm not against it. There's not a lot of people around here that talk about group riding. It's got the perfect amount of power, and so yeah, I absolutely love this bike. And it also does this pretty good. You can pop that wheel up pretty easy, so it's a lot of fun. I have enjoyed this bike over the last year, and I really don't see me having any plans of getting rid of it, at least for another year or so. You know, I mean, I might get tired of it. I might want to venture out and get me a Super Sport, but I like this bike. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and subscribe and like this video, comment. about maybe some stuff you want to hear. And yeah, I'll be glad to keep making more videos. So thank you for checking it out, and have a good one.